So to say that someone is not an alpha male because he's of a certain personality is nuts.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
so
like that way of
polarized.
thinking. I don't like that. It's very old school, right? I feel like it's okay and it's so appreciated now in the society that a man can be, as a woman can both work and be a stay-at-home mom, then it's 100% appreciated to me that a man can be a workaholic, a tough guy, but also like a sensitive person, a person to have a conversation with, a person that craves a relationship. I feel like we shouldn't differentiate men and women on that at all. Like we are the same, humankind. I think it's super important to state that. I don't believe in the word alpha male. What does it mean? There's a beta male somewhere? Like what does it make you like? It doesn't make
Right.
sense to me.
What it's supposed to mean, Susanna, and that's actually a very important discussion. The definition of alpha male used to be something different than what's being communicated on the web today. In my perception, and this is, again, it leads back to what you highlighted before. The definition of an alpha male, in my humble opinion, is a male that gives 100% of what he does. That's an alpha male. This has nothing to do with personality. Does it mean just because someone is an introvert, he's an alpha male? Does it mean just because someone who seeks a conversation to solve a problem is a beta male? This is ludicrous. Or then you see people that are like, well, if you do certain things for a woman, then you are a beta male. If you do this for a woman, it's a sign of weakness. She's going to take advantage of it. Just because you've dated certain types of women who have taken advantage of that does not mean that all women are the same, because
Right.
they're not. And I can tell you this, I've dated so many women, not necessarily now what some guys might understand under dating or as dating, just met, hung out, became friends. And
Right.
if then nothing more happens, then that's fine too. You don't have to push for that. There are some guys that say, well, if you haven't slept with a girl, you haven't dated her. That's bullshit. Like, not every woman wants that when you're just dating, when you're just getting to know each other. If the woman does not seek that, or if she has like her own boundaries, or if is not of that personality, you can't say that there's something wrong with you or her if it doesn't happen. So men don't understand that. Like, it's very polarized, Susanna, today, and that's the sad truth. What's even more sad is that these guys are selling dating courses. They don't understand anything about dating, nothing. They don't understand the psychology of dating. They don't understand about human values. They don't understand about the different personality types, nothing. All that they teach is how to get laid, and some of them do it like in the worst possible way, by lying, which is the worst possible way, or making promises that you can't keep, which is going to come back to haunt you. If you overpromise and underdeliver, whether that's in business, whether that's with friends, family, dating, you're always going to end up in a bad situation if you do that. There are all types of guys now listening. I'm talking about personality, all different types, right? So the topic of alpha male and beta male, in my humble opinion, an alpha male is someone who does what he does well. He is 100%. And it goes again back to the quote. And you might think, maybe that's not true for me. And that's perfectly fine. Like, what has helped me, and I'm not speaking about my experience, and some of you might not agree, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not trying to appeal to everyone, and there's no such thing as appealing to everyone or making everyone believe that this is the right thing for me to do, for you guys to do in this very example. It's just not. You have to find for yourself, what is my definition of an alpha male? What is my best possible state? What is the state where I feel the happiest? That's the definition of an alpha male. Like, if you can obtain happiness over and over and over again, then you are an alpha male. Whether you're living in a bamboo hut somewhere in southern Italy, as long as you're happy and as long as you're like living the life that you want for yourself. This is what it all comes down to. This is what it boils down to. If you're living the life that you want for yourself, then you are an alpha male. And as Susanna pointed out, right, Susanna, you said a person who is not happy. That's not, I mean, look, and I want to make a distinction here too. Like, happiness is like, again, a scale from 0 to 100. And I don't know if there's any person who is 100% happy. But if you're with a person that's more depressed and unhappy than they're happy, there's definitely something wrong, right? But it doesn't mean you're not going to have a bad day. Right?
No, I mean, by not being happy, I mean someone that doesn't feel passionate about their life and doesn't do anything to change that, you know? Like you can be not happy, not fulfilled with your job or with your current situation, whatever. Like there's so many of us are not fulfilled completely, and that's acceptable. But I like when someone, either a friend or a partner, just steps out of their comfort zone and is like, okay, I'm going to make this my year. I'm going to make this my dream, like, you know, I like the fact that you have perspective on that. Like if you don't
Exactly.
do anything to change your situation, it's not an attractive trait in a human being.
Like, we humans are wired to reproduce. I think that's true, even though now less than before. And another thing is we are wired to improve. It is human nature to improve, to evolve. Like what you pointed out here is the essence. It's everything. It's the beginning, the middle, and the end. So let's leave this conversation with a final statement here, or with a final summary of what this really is, what an alpha male, what the most truthful definition of an alpha male, in my humble opinion, and from what I have now heard from Susanna's humble opinion. An alpha male is a man who can give 100% and who goes after the things that he wants to realize in his life. But just because you're of a different personality, just because you have different traits, or you're not exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger, just because you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't mean you're not an alpha male. He's Austrian, I'm Austrian, we're completely different people. Like the way we communicate, like the way we think. There's nothing wrong with them. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with me either, right? But it's like, Susanna, what you pointed out, the 100%, like, or just being certain of what somebody wants to do is like the essence. This is the takeaway, guys. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, because you have done this or this and that, you were a beta male. Certain traits and certain things and certain states of like bad temperament might very well be in that category. So I'm not denying that, but remember that we're all humans. There's no person on the planet that's 100% happy all the time, every single second of the day. That does not exist. Life is about challenges. Life is about progress. And guess what progress involves? Progress involves disappointment too. So don't be blindfolded believing that you can get from wherever you are to where you want to be without any setbacks, right? Without any disappointments. That's just not how it works, right? We've got to be realistic too. But the point that Susanna and I are trying to make is that you've got to become the best possible version of yourself. I feel like that's the best definition that we can give you, the best final thought, because what you can control from the inside is the only thing that matters. What's from the outside, which is not under your control, you have no control over that, right? No influence. So how can that help you, right? If you take control from the inside and use that to become the best possible version of yourself, which again is not 100% every single time, every single second, because humans don't work like that. Humans are flawed. Humans make mistakes, right? Humans screw up. Don't be disappointed. If you have any final thoughts here, Susanna, that you would like to pass on, we'd say, hey, pay attention to this.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think you should pay attention to just fulfilling whatever you put yourself in mind to do. And also like, yeah, I don't think you should even think within those categories of alpha male and beta male. I think you shouldn't even that shouldn't even pop into your mind, right? Like you should definitely be free of all these structures that the society sometimes like forces on you, and you should just think, am I doing the best that I can to fulfill my potential? And that's the only thing that I think you should look at, despite people calling that alpha or beta male.
I agree with you on that. Yet there's so many people selling courses on how to become that.
Yeah,
I
don't
and what they are teaching is not actually the definition of it. It just isn't.
Right.
Anyway, thank you for your time. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to leave a comment below. If you want to ask any questions to our charming Susanna, you can refer to her by name in the comments, and hopefully she'll have some time to answer. And thank you for watching. We see you on the next video.
Bye.